dialectical dissection of history, coming to a conclusion as Marx, Engels and Lenin, Stalin on one side and the other side democratic and so on. I know you'll get bored with this, but unless we radically change this narrow pattern, we're going to have more and more wars, economic problems is becoming more and more dangerous. It's up to you. And all this can end only when you drop your own particular condition as an American, Russian, Indian, French, British and so on. So that we are one humanity. As our consciousness is the rest of humanity. I've gone into that, I won't go into it now. So, the brain can only be stable, have complete security, when we understand the whole process of becoming. Becoming implies duality, and where there is duality there must be conflict. The Arab and the Jew, the Muslim and the Hindu, the Catholic and the Protestant, the perpetual state of conflict human beings live in. So where there is becoming, there is duality and therefore conflict. And a brain cannot perpetually live in conflict. It then becomes neurotic, psychotic, and every kind of pursuing every kind of illusions. And therefore the multiplication of psychologists, therapeutics, and psychiatrists. You have them multiplying all over the world. I'm sorry if there are psychologists here. So, to see that fact, not the idea of the fact. You understand the difference? One sees the fact and then makes an abstraction of it, which is called the idea of it. And we pursue the idea and not the fact. Right? Are we together? So we must be very clear in this matter. We are dealing with fact, not with the idea, the symbol of the fact, or the word of the fact. When you see the fact that time is not the solution or bring about a radical change, then you are stuck with the fact. Right? You are with the fact. And the fact is not different from you. You are the fact. So what is action? Our action is based on reward and punishment, to put it very, very simply. Right? I'll act rightly if I can get something out of it. And I will be punished if I don't act rightly. Therefore, I attempt to act rightly. So our action is based on reward and punishment. Our action is based on some futuristic concept, on an ideal, and action according to that ideal, conforming, adjusting to that ideal, therefore conflict. or our action has a motive, a direction. Selfish, generally, self-interest, self-concern, which is reward and punishment. Reward in the future, if I do this, I'll get that. Right? And if I don't do it, I might lose. Therefore, the fear of losing. So our action is always in this area of gain and reward, punishment and fear. Right? Reward is always in the future. Punishment is also might happen in the future. So there is never action per se. Action for itself. Like a good carpenter who makes a marvelous cabinet. The love of it itself, not the reward, the punishment, the gain. So, action in relation to time breeds conflict. Right? It is clear? And is there action which is for itself? Is love the action in itself? Not the love that has jealousy, hate, amusement, fun and excitement and sex pleasure. Love is not all that, surely. See, when there is love, there is action without conflict. And love is not a slave to time. So that is, if you can understand that, if you can have explained and deeply grasped the truth of it, then the brain becomes extraordinarily vital, strong, not confused in any way. Because then you are living now completely. Fear of the future and the past disappear. We ought to also talk over together the question of suffering, which is part of our life. There isn't a single human being in the world, not a single human being, whether he's in a monastery or a monk in the Himalayas, a man in the street and you and every human being on earth suffers. And we make others suffer. That's our cycle. This is very serious. You may laugh it off. But if one's wife or husband, son is destroyed by war, then you will know what it means. We all know what it means, but yet we go on in the same old pattern. And so